My name is Lucas Howman. I work for a company called Digital Outcomes, which is a management consultancy, and I lead all the sale and commercial activity. I knew I was coming into summer, wasn't quite in the shape that I wanted to get. I wanted to be in, and a number of weddings coming up, holidays, and I'm the type of person that can focus quite intensely in certainly shorter periods of time. And this seemed like the program that was going to sharpen my mind, get me into the focus area that I needed to work hard and look at getting a body for summer that I was pretty proud of. I think coming into the program, most apprehensive about probably the change in diet, having typically tried to do this every summer. I leave it to the last minute, right? Strip all the carbs out, bring kind of that calorie deficit down, and getting the right balance, I guess, from keeping the motivation up as well as trying not to kind of veer off course and go back to the pub on a Friday night, eat that burger. So I guess just about keeping towing the line and keeping to the original goal. Craig on me every day. Yeah. I think kind of the accountability that's driven through the app is was probably, I think, one of the most commanding factors of being able to visibly see what you were doing every day, put your results in every day. Craig kind of following up, tweak this, don't do that, do this. Have you got any issues? And then it just, the daily habits that it triggers you to do are now just into a routine now. So I would say, yeah, Craig and the app. So I lost 3.5 kilos. I went from 78.5 kg down to 75 in just under 6 weeks. I felt great. I felt awesome. It was really good, and it was tied nicely into a holiday that was going on. So, got into the swim shorts. My favorite thing about the 6-week rapid results system was that whilst it was a short-term measure for me, just to kind of kickstart me and get me into the rhythm, a healthy rhythm for the summer. Craig actually had so much knowledge and was able to help me from gym, diet. Was just generally there on standpoint that actually I've kind of baked in a lot of the learnings now from him and taken, I guess, all that fountain of knowledge that he is and kind of applied that into my day-to-day training now, and my day-to-day habit as well. And I think there was nothing about this, how many calories you need to eat. This is the deficit you need to be in every day. It was just really simple. Eat good fats, eat this amount of protein, try to reduce your carbs if you can. And just crack on and do that for 6 weeks. So it wasn't particularly labor intensive about counting calories or eating or don't eat this, do eat that. That I guess that was the part I was most apprehensive about, because I've done that before. You've got to reduce your 2 pounds of fat. I don't know. I use my fitness pal to track some of the food, and it says it gives me my calorie deficit. I'm just like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be able to achieve that. But it felt really achievable and a bit more realistic from the start, which I think, enabled me to kind of track through the 6 weeks and hit the target I wanted to do. So we pre-prepped, Craig and I pre-prepped a weekly call. So we put that in the diary from the start. So that was, once it's in the diary for me, it's so much easier to manage in terms of like our weekly catch-ups. But the flexibility of being able to train, when suits you, and then Craig working essentially around me. I'm in sales in the city, which is pretty full on at the best of times. And he was always happy to either defer, kind of move around my diary. And then I trained. I mean, I was able to train either before work, over lunch if I had the time, or after work. So those are kind of like my 3 trigger points to go to the gym. And then eventually I got into the habit of pre-prepping my meals to make it a bit more flexible, so I didn't have to spend all the time cooking each night, which was better for me. But that took me probably 4 weeks to get into that.